Answer to this one is 126. Answer on that one is 744. Don't forget, on these problems you can do 9 minus 7 to get 2, and then come up with only needing the first two terms of 9 factorial, which is 78 or 72. Six minus 3 is 3. That means you only need to use the first three terms of 6 factorial, which is 654. 30 times 4 is 120. Everybody had this one. The answer is 210. Numbers are 2, 5, 10, 14, and 16. Today's objective is to use factorials. Flashcards. 2. 6. 24. 1. 120. 6 factorial. 720. 5. 6. 10. 2. This is 24. This is 6. That's 2. So 6 times 2 is 12. Into 24 twice. This one is 120. This is 6, and that is 2. 12 into 120 is 10. $144. 240 is the answer, yes, because this is 120 and that's 2. $30. 60. Example 1. Here's an example of how to use factorials. In this example, we're going to use a combination. And a combination formula is NCR. And the formula is this: N factorial over R factorial times N minus R factorial. And we'll do a simple problem coming up next for that. I'll give you time to write this down. Alright, here's the example, and we're not going to use a word problem with it. We're just going to do the math behind it, and then I'll give you problems with words that you have to use the formula for. So here in this problem, I'm going to say that n is 6 and r is 2. So you would have to plug in 6 and 2 in that formula. So on the top, you would have 6 factorial over 2 factorial times 6 minus 2, that quantity factorial. So what it boils down to is 6 factorial over 2 factorial times 4 factorial, because 6 minus 2 is 4. And from there you can simplify it however you want. If you want to type it in the calculator, fine. Or if you want to use the shortcuts from before, remember 6 minus 4 is 2, so you only need the first 2 items from 6 factorial. 6 times 5 leaves you with 2 factorial on the bottom. 6 times 5 is 30. 2 factorial is 2. So the answer would be 15. In this case, n is 7 and r is 4. The formula for NCR is n factorial over r factorial times the quantity factorial of n minus r. So n is 7 factorial over 4 factorial times the quantity factorial of 7 minus 4. So that comes out to be 4 factorial, 3 factorial on the bottom. Now, however you want to do it is fine, but I'll use the shortcut of 7 minus 4 is 3. So I just need the first 3 terms of 7 factorial. And then on the bottom, 3 factorial is 6. So I could cancel out and get 35. Try this one and bring it up. On the practice problem, you should have 8 factorial over 5 factorial, and then it's 8 minus 5, quantity factorial. So that boils down to 8 factorial over 5 factorial times 3 factorial. Cancel this out here and make it 8, 7, and 6. And then 3 factorial is 6, so if you knock those out, you should have 56. Bonus answer was 840. Answer is 60 on the bonus. Alright, you should have 10 factorial over 6 factorial times 4 factorial. That's what it dwindles down to from 10 minus 6. So with a shortcut, you should have a 10, 9, 8, and 7 on the top. On the bottom, 4, 3, 2, and 1. You could cancel out a 4 and a 2 with the 8 on top and a 3 with the 9 and come up with 210. Answer on the bonus is 15. Here's another one. Answer was 5490. Example 3. A pizza shop has a total of 10 items that they could put on pizzas. What we want to know is how many 3-topping pizzas can be made if you have 10 to choose from. You have 10 items. How many different 3-topping pizzas can be made? And here's when you're dealing with combinations, order is not important. So if I had a pizza and I put pepperoni on first and then peppers next, it's the same thing as putting peppers on first and pepperoni next. It's not something different. So in order to do this, it's a combination problem. You have 10 toppings and you're choosing 3 at a time. So you would do 10 factorial over 3 factorial times 10 minus 3 is 7. And then simplify that out. You would have 10, 9, 8 on the top and then 3, 2, 1 on the bottom. That could cancel for a 3 and get a 4. Should be 120. You could make 120 different pizzas with 10 toppings, choosing 3 at a time. Try this one, bring it up. You have a total of 12 toppings at the pizza place that you own, and you want to figure out how many 5-topping pizzas can be made from 12 toppings. For the practice problem, it should be 12 factorial over 5 factorial times 7 factorial. That's 12 minus 5 to get the 7. So we're going to break this up as 12, 11, 10, 9, and 8 on top because that cancels with the 7 factorial on the bottom. And left on the bottom is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The 1 makes no difference. You can do 5 and 2 to get rid of the 10, and cancel there to get a 2, and here to get a 3. So you end up with 12 times 11 times what's essentially 6 here. That's 12 times 66. Should come up with 792. Answer is 60.